Hi there and welcome back, where today we're going to be talking about the latest Perfume song, Spinning World. And I guess before we really get into the details, the question is, why haven't we spoken about Perfume in quite a while? I mean, after all, I've always been a bit of a vocal supporter of this group. I mean, they're a group who are renowned for their ability to hit their marks with choreography, with the dance. They've always got an interesting image. They do their own singing, as you'd expect from a pop group. They really do everything that you'd expect from a good pop group, and yet they've been doing this for so many years. They're a group who've been around, and when we think about Japanese pop, and there's always that stereotype of the young sort of AKB stereotype coming into your head, these girls have been, women I guess you should say, have been up at the forefront, really a quintessential famous example of Japanese pop, out doing Coachella a few years ago. And on top of that, I've also been a long-term supporter and defender of their frequent collaborator and producer, Nakata Yasutaka, I believe I'm pronouncing his name correctly, who also does the production for Kyari Pami Pami, another artist who I support. There's so many things here that should make me come back to Perfume quite frequently. So the question is, why haven't I as much? Now, I'm still recovering, so before I give you the answer to that question, here's some water. Trying not to cough on you. So, the reason I haven't come back to them so much, I think just comes down to the fact that of recent years, it feels like Perfume, at least in the last few years, have just kind of been being Perfume. It's been fairly predictable every time you've heard a new song from them. Dare I say that as much as I defend Nakata Yasutaka, he has a habit of getting a little bit samey. This is a group who used to have like runaway singles like Tokyo Girl, which were huge, and interesting out there things like Polyrhythm, whereas so much of the recent material has not really had that wow factor. So when Spinning World came up as a suggestion on our community pages on the Discord, I thought, you know what, I am going to check that out because I want some success for Perfume. I'm sure they have plenty of success without me, but some success on this channel, damn it. So here's a time for the review. All right. When it comes to Spinning World, I've got to be honest, although it's not going to revolutionize anything, yes, it's not going to completely change things for people who weren't already fans, I think this is a really interesting entry into the Perfume catalogue. Although it is still quintessentially them, it does add a little bit of a different feel. This is, at its heart, a very funky song. Yes, it's the dance pop that we're used to from them, but very much there's a funk influence, sort of electro-funk thing going on here. I mean, we can take this back through artists like Jamiroquai, and then you move that on, obviously, Daft Punk. A few days ago, actually, Gorillaz had a song which was that sort of electro-funk thing. I mean, I know they do that occasionally, but they had a really good one called Cracker Island that came out a few days ago. So what do Perfume add with this style? Well, first of all, it's important to mention that they really do get the formula right. There's a sort of minimalism to most of what's happening in the top end of the song. Underneath, you have a funky electronic sort of synthetic bass, but it's moving, it's staying very kinetic, which keeps the whole floor of the sound of the song always very grounded in having a sort of constant bass presence, but also moving along. This is something that is very core to those kind of electro-funk songs. The beat is also quite simple, and there it's very much a dance beat, which is where you get that crossover between what we traditionally think of as funk and that kind of electro-funk sound, where it does cross into dance territory. A lot of that is in the beat. The bass remains very funky, but the beat remains very grounded, so you can really tap, bob your head, dance, whatever you need to do. Then, in the majority of the upper part of the song, the sort of higher frequencies, mid and higher frequencies, what you're really getting is you're getting a lot of sounds appearing, going in and out, little synthetic sounds bursting here and there. Even the vocals are present throughout most of this song, but they kind of very much on the rhythm. I did like, actually, there was a sort of change in the balance of the lyrics, the balance of the vocal delivery as the song went along. It was more sung and more slow during some of the verses. And then as we went into the chorus, it became a little bit faster. And you had a little bit of a post-chorus, which was kind of your chanted bit. That's a fairly normal formula to have the post-chorus, where it's just like, spinning world, and everyone goes, spinning world. And it's just, just you chanting the name of the song backwards and forwards. But it's still the vocals doing something. So the way it goes from long, sort of more held, sung notes into a more faster, rapid chorus, and then just a sort of chanted bit, that's nice. You have a change the way the vocals work, to change the way that they're connecting both to the audience and just to the whole feeling of the song. So it's a song that allows the vocals to be interesting, to be different, to change, and to be at the heart of the song, which I had mentioned there have been some some Perfume songs where the vocals almost feel like they're not kind of even really doing anything and thinking, is this a Perfume song or is this just Nakata Yasutaka? This is one of those ones where definitely the vocals are at the heart of it. There's a bit of a cool and answer feel on occasion, which is nice to it. You know, it feels like the various members are doing different things rather than just all singing the same thing together. The beat really does nicely nail that mix between the sort of the funk and the dance. And you have a lot of nice little flourishes happening, synth flourishes and various things happening in the song that give it a little bit of character, a bit of attitude, a bit of bounce, stop it just becoming too samey. So yes, this is not a song that's going to reinvent the wheel. I mentioned I mentioned a few seconds ago about that Gorillaz song. That Gorillaz song was a lot of stuff going on in the production there, but that was not so much a catchy song. That was what you'd expect from Gorillaz, just sort of loads of playful stuff. This is definitely leaning more towards the side of trying to be accessible and pop friendly. So it's not something, if maybe you're big into like really interesting experimentation on the concept of funk and, you know, dance music, this is probably not going to grab you. But it's a single from a well-recognized mainstream pop group, and in that sense I more look at it as comparing it against what you usually get in mainstream pop, and I would say this is interesting. It's got an interesting fun take on it. It's a bit different, it's funky, definitely it's fun, it's very fun. I like it. It's what I kind of want from a group like Perfume. I'm not expecting to be overly challenged. I'm just expecting to have something that really gets through to that part of the brain that makes you want to tap your foot and sort of bounce around the room a little bit. When this is playing and I'm up and walking around, I've got a bit of a hop in my step. So, Spinning World. It's a good song. I'm glad it points Perfume in the right direction. I want to hear more of this kind of thing. And certainly, if you are just after some good backing pop or just something fun to be playing, Perfume seems to still be on it. So that's my thoughts. As always, looking forward to seeing what you guys say. Get in the comments and tell me what you thought about this song. And until I hopefully see you very soon for the next one of these, for now, ciao ciao.